We like clean lines in sports. My team versus your team, wrong versus right. This guy's the hero. This one's the villain. So it wasn't a surprise last night when Paul George got booed by Lakers fans at the Staples Center. And won't be a surprise tonight when you hear some Spurs fans booing Kawhi Leonard. Ask Kevin Durant, who is also playing on the national TV docket tonight. To plenty of fans, if you are once a cupcake, you are always a cupcake. Of course, it's not actually ever that simple because the system isn't set up for clean lines. DeMar DeRozan is also playing tonight. Remember this summer when he said he felt completely caught off guard by the Raptors trading him, that it was, quote, BS, especially after he'd re-signed there as a free agent without even visiting any other teams. He got a lot of folks telling him, hey man, you gotta understand, it's a business, which is true, but also not. In order to win championships, basketball teams need their players to buy into the concept of being brothers, of playing for something more than themselves, of wanting to push their bodies to the point of actually bleeding for their teams. DeRozan believed in all of that. So yes, he is an adult and knows it's a business, but also yes, he meant it this summer when he was at Team USA training camp and was asked about wanting revenge against the Raptors. Take a listen.
Anybody know when the schedule come out?
I don't think it's not till next month, I think.
Next month? Yeah. I'll wait till then. It'll definitely be a date circle on it, without a doubt.
DeMar actually took things a step further in September when he appeared on the YouTube cooking show that his former Raptors teammate Serge Ibaka hosts. In this conversation, he pledges to drop 50 on Toronto in tonight's meeting. Although this is also the afternoon where Ibaka served DeRozan a traditional Congolese dish featuring cooked worms.
Where did you get that?
So really, it's unclear to me who is trying to get revenge on who here, but that's for a later conversation. As for the other side of tonight's game, Kawhi spoke after shoot-around this morning and was asked if he ever wishes things had worked out differently in San Antonio.
There are times, man, you wish that things maybe would have went down differently.
At times, yeah. But I mean, it's a new year, new season, so I'm just looking what's in front of us right now.
Have you talked to Pop lately?
Not recently, no.
Why did you want out of San Antonio? What was the main reason?
I'm not going to discuss that here today.
But Kawhi also went on to say that his time with the Spurs meant a lot to him, that he put, quote, blood, sweat, and tears wearing that jersey, believing in something, which is undeniably true. Even though it is also undeniably true, he wanted out of that organization without making it clear to his teammates or coaches why. And like DeRozan with the Raptors, they felt caught off guard, even though they also know it's a business. So is Kawhi a villain, or is he a hero, or neither? And what about Paul George? Last night at Staples, PG was indeed booed during introductions. Booed when he touched the ball. At one point, fans even started chanting this at him. I mean, that's amazing. If you can look at the Lakers roster and think Paul George wouldn't be helpful right now, I applaud your detachment from reality. And look, I am a big, big believer that a player like PG, especially a player like PG, who once fought through a horrific injury and thought it would take the game of basketball away from him, has the right to make his own decisions about where he wants to play it. But I also do understand the sentiment from the fans because that's not a neat or tidy connection there either. Some fans have a lifelong relationship with their sports teams that's stronger than their love of some of their family members. The truth is that all the way around, the lines aren't clean. Players and teams and fans can be both wrong and right, which is a whole lot more interesting anyway. So, Chauncey, that's a big stew of people with a lot of feelings. You heard from Kawhi, we heard a little bit from DeMar. Who has more to prove tonight against their former team?
I'll be honest with you, I don't think either one do. I mean, Kawhi won a championship. He's a finals MVP there. You know, there should be a mutual appreciation for one another, the organization and himself. And I think, you know, DeMar did the same thing. He didn't win a championship, but he was, you know, he made some, he's got a lot of records there. He's been a multiple-time All-Star there. Both guys, in my opinion, should have their jerseys retired in those cities and for those organizations. So I don't think either one of them have much to prove. I'm quite certain, because I've been there several times, they will both be trying to have their best game of the season
Yes.
tonight. But I don't think they have anything to prove. Their legacies, to me, have been set in those organizations.
Yeah, I mean, talk about Kawhi. He's on the best team in the league.
Right.
You see his numbers are amazing. All that talk about him being a system player,
Right.
we don't hear that anymore.
Well, that didn't come from the Spurs, in fairness.
I'm just saying,
that, yeah.
like all the things that people would have wanted to throw at him
Yes.
on the way out the door, they all kind of fell to the wayside. And now it's kind of like, oh, I guess he was, he's pretty good, right? Whereas DeRozan, first of all, I agree with what Chauncey said. DeRozan is the greatest Raptor of all time. He's not better than T-Mac at his prime. He's not better than Chris Bosh at his prime or whatever, but the amount of time he put in Toronto, the longevity there, and the best of his years being there, I think is what makes him Mr. Raptor, right? And he's absolutely right. His jersey's going to go up. But I get the sense that he's more hurt by it.
Sure.
So I feel like this game means more to him to show to the Raptors that, hey, this is what you guys are missing out on. Whereas Kawhi is kind of at peace with.
Well, Kawhi got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And DeMar got what he didn't want.
Got you. Yeah.
So it definitely means a lot
And
more.
in some ways, I mean, look, Pop in the organization kept saying they wanted to keep Kawhi, so they didn't get what they wanted there either. I don't know if there's any feeling on their part, hey, we want to show them by beating them. We've certainly seen, look, when Dwayne Casey went and played the Raptors with the Pistons, the team wanted to win for him. We've seen teams wanting to win for their coach.